Established in 1956, the Hong Kong Society for the Blind provides a wide variety of services to the visually impaired people in Hong Kong. Over the years, the service needs of the visually impaired change as society moves on. To meet with their changing needs, let me show you some of the achievements made in the past year. Supported by the Hong Kong Bank via the Hong Kong Community Chest, the Hong Kong Society for the Blind launched a 3-year pilot project, the Comprehensive Home and Community-Based Low Vision and Rehabilitation Service, in December 2013. The project aims to provide occupational therapy and optometric services to elderly persons aged 60 or above with low vision and have difficulty in coping with daily living at home and in the community. Professional optometrists and occupational therapists conduct low vision examination, home environment and daily living skill assessment in the home of the elderly client. The beneficiaries are given sponsorship for replacement or installation of part of the home facilities, visual aids and daily assistive devices in order to improve their daily living and home safety. This comprehensive rehabilitation project improves the quality of life of the elderly persons and assists them to live more independently. Due to difficulties in communication, if there is no assistance from others, the deaf-blind cannot go shopping, to the bank, or even hospital for attending follow-up appointments like everyone else in the community. Communicator service is crucial for the deaf-blind to connect to the community. Funded by the SKE Medical Foundation, the Resources Centre for the Deaf-Blind launched the 3-year pilot project on communicator service for the deaf-blind in Hong Kong from 2013. The press conference was held on 7th of September 2013. We had Mr. Stephen Seal, Commissioner for Rehabilitation of the Labour and Welfare Bureau, as the officiating guest. Without a communicator, I don't know where my location is, as I can't see clearly. I'm afraid of falling down or being knocked down by others. I will buy the wrong stuff when I go shopping. I can't hear people when they call me. It is really inconvenient. How did you buy stuff or go to see a doctor in the past? In the past, without a communicator, I would ask my family members to accompany me, but they had to go to work and so might be unable to accompany me. I was afraid to go alone. Now there is a communicator to accompany you. What is the difference? The communicator can accompany me to participate in activities. They will explain to me in detail the surrounding environment and walk along with me so I feel safe. They help me integrate into society and make my life happier. Deaf-blind persons encounter various difficulties in daily life. For example, it is difficult for them to read the prices of a product, the ingredients and expiry dates of food, information about their medical follow-up, the environment around them when attending activities. They need communicators to help them in various aspects to integrate into the society. In what way is a communicator meaningful to the deaf-blind? The communicators can improve the quality of life of the deaf-blind, as they can have more opportunities to join activities and lead a better life. Through delivery of the service, I made friends with a lot of deaf-blind persons. I found they became happier after joining various activities and get connected to the outside world. I think it is very meaningful to be a communicator. I hope that more people are willing to become communicators. The centre has a membership of 110 deaf-blind. Under the project, it is expected that each year, communicator service can be rendered 50 times to the deaf-blind members in need. Besides, in August 2013, the casebook on deaf-blind training was published. The book was written by professional deaf-blind rehabilitation instructors and special schools teachers of deaf-blind people. They share their valuable insights and experiences on the provision of rehabilitation training to 6 deaf-blind cases of different age and levels of visual and hearing impairment. Since 2009, the Hong Kong Society for the Blind launched the audio description services for the visually impaired. Audio description was first added to the movie screenings held in society to help the visually impaired to revive their interest in watching movies. Later on, audio description soundtracks were made for 9 publicly released movie DVDs. Any person, including the visually impaired, can buy those DVDs in the market and enjoy watching movies with their family members. Now, audio description service has been extended to performing arts programs and outdoor visits too. So how does audio description help the visually impaired? I had to provide audio description for the visually impaired in movies and visit activities. I spent dozens of hours preparing each activity. For example, when I prepared the script for the outing to Qilin Nunnery, I made 4 field trips. I also gave audio description for the wetland park visit. The park is very big and there are a lot of attractions. So I need to put more effort into the script in order to describe the attractions more precisely. I even collected some rushes and lotus for the visually impaired to feel, so that the participants would be able to understand the shapes better. I am glad that the effort and time spent had been worthwhile. I am an inborn blind. I never had thought that I had a chance to watch movies. When my friends talked about popular movies or who had won the Best Actor award, I found it difficult to join the conversations. In recent years, the Hong Kong Society for the Blind organized audio description activities. Every time the volunteer gave good audio description, so that I was able to construct the image in my mind, just like watching the scenes. It was really great fun. During the visits, the audio describer described the environment around to let me know more about the surroundings. Now I have a lot more topics to talk about with my family and friends. Audio description really has made my life more colorful. The scheme is helpful to the visually impaired as it broadens their living horizon. The scheme earned the Social Responsiveness Award of the Best Practice Award in Social Welfare 2013, held by the Hong Kong Council of Social Service. Talking about awards, last year, the Rehabilitation Centre earned the Golden Award in the Third Age Persons Consumer Culture Study Award 2012 to 2013, organised by the Consumer Council. The theme of the study report was The Invisible Consumer Life, which recorded the positive and negative experience of 2 of our visually impaired members of the centre in everyday shopping. Difficulties encountered were described in the report to improve public understanding of their special needs. The report gained high regard from the adjudicators. The study award scheme aims to discover the interesting and noteworthy aspects of local consumer behaviours, the general phenomenon and consumer culture, in order to arouse public awareness of the consumption context faced by the third age consumers and people with disabilities. The Barrier Free Access Hong Kong Limited, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of HKSB, was awarded the Golden Award of the Web Accessibility Recognition Scheme 2014. The scheme was jointly organised by the Office of the Government Chief Information Officer and the Equal Opportunities Commission. The company website adopts the barrier-free design to facilitate general browsing of the visually impaired. The visually impaired may make use of screen reading software to learn about all the information on the web. The webpage makes use of high contrast colours, and the additional function of font size adjustment helps to facilitate reading by the low vision people. The Hong Kong Society for the Blind has been actively promoting employment of the disabled. The SKE Health Massage and Treatment Centre was set up in 1992 to employ visually impaired masseurs who have completed training at the Hong Kong Society for the Blind or other recognised training organisations and have obtained professional qualifications to provide massage and beauty services to customers. The centre provides supporting facilities, training and guidance to allow employees with disabilities to try out their potential at work. In 2013, the SKE Health Massage and Treatment Centre was awarded 18 Districts Caring Employers 2013, organised by the Labour and Welfare Bureau, in joint hands with the Rehabilitation Advisory Committee, the Joint Council for the Physically and Mentally Disabled Hong Kong, and the Hong Kong Council and Social Service. I have worked in the Health Massage and Treatment Centre for 20 years. I got a lot of satisfaction and built up my confidence from my job. I can help my customers to relieve fatigue. The customers' feedback and appreciation enhanced my self-confidence. I got job satisfaction and have a strong passion in my job. I have been a massage assistant for 1.5 years. My main job duty is to accompany our masseurs to provide massage service outside the centre. The customers are mainly elderly people with limited mobility. We help these elderly people to relieve pain and strains. They and their family members were grateful to us. The masseurs often teach me a lot of medical knowledge. For example, when we got tired or injured during work, they would teach us how to relieve pain and reduce strains. To encourage more employers in the commercial field to provide job opportunities for the disabled, the Talent-Wise Employment Charter was launched in 2013 by the Labour and Welfare Bureau in joint collaboration with the Rehabilitation Advisory Committee, the Hong Kong Council of Social Service and the Hong Kong Joint Council for People with Disabilities. All along, the Hong Kong Society for the Blind has made conscientious efforts to provide appropriate services and opportunities to the visually impaired, to promote their equal participation in society. Upon launching of the Charter, we joined the scheme last November as one of the employer and supporting organisations, and we were awarded the 2013-14 Inclusive Organisation logo. My duty in the centralised Braille Production Centre is to translate the texts of printed books into Braille. I felt that my work is very meaningful because Braille books are the main media for the visually impaired to build up knowledge. This allows the visually impaired students in Hong Kong to have equal opportunity to receive education and allows the visually impaired to enrich themselves through reading. I hope that more employers are able to provide us with more job opportunities so that the visually impaired can apply what they have learned and try out their potential. Opportunities can be created. How does the Hong Kong Society for the Blind create employment opportunities for people with disabilities? First of all, I believe that people with disabilities have various potential and have the same positive working attitude. The Factory for the Blind was established since 1963 to provide sheltered employment for the visually impaired and workers of other disabilities so that they can earn their own living. Our Career Support and Development Centre mainly assists the visually impaired with open employment by providing them with different kinds of training and counselling services. What support services are available to the employers? For employers, we learned that they don't know much about the work performance of the visually impaired. So our colleagues will show them the different kinds of work that the visually impaired can handle and the assistive devices required. We show them how their employees and visually impaired people can work together in harmony and communicate effectively. We also set ourselves as an example. As of 31st of March 2014, among the 600+ employees of our organisation, there were 43 visually impaired colleagues, which accounted for 7% of our total workforce. I see. By the way, as an organisation mainly serving the disabled people, what expectations would you have on the society and the government? The government should make more effort to promote employment of people with disabilities. Take the example of the civil service. The number of visually impaired employees did not rise but dropped in the past 10 years. We feel disappointed about that. Besides, the government has been reluctant to put forward the quota system or make provision of tax benefits to encourage the commercial sector to employ persons with disabilities. The mere reliance on the passionate entrepreneurs, the social enterprises and NGOs like us would not help much. The employment problem of persons with disabilities would still not be resolved. Funded by the Lions Clubs International, the Hong Kong Society for the Blind organised the National Focal Persons Training in Low Vision and a series of public education activities on blindness awareness in Hong Kong for 2 consecutive years since 2013. The first training course was successfully held from the 16th to the 27th of September 2013. The 26 participants came from 20 developing countries and were ophthalmologists and optometrists. After the training, they returned to their home countries to help to start the low vision services there, so that millions of people would benefit in the next 5 to 10 years. To arouse public awareness on eye care, we joined hands with the China-Hong Kong-Macau District 303 of Lions Clubs International to organize the 2013 World Sight Day, Say No to Glaucoma public education program on the 13th of October 2013 to introduce to the general public information about glaucoma and its prevention. Apart from having Ms. Wang Haowan, Head of China and International Affairs and Donation Management of Hospital Authority, as the officiating guest, we also had Dr. Lai Samwai and Dr. Yun Suk Yin to give talks about glaucoma and its treatment. They also worked with Dr. Leung Yu Long to answer questions raised from the floor on eye care and eye diseases treatment. On-site free glaucoma screening service was conducted after the talks. There were exhibition boards about the prevention and treatment of glaucoma to enhance the public understanding of general eye care and prevention of glaucoma. The fruitful achievements of the Hong Kong Society for the Blind during the year had been the result of the generous support and participation of various parties in the community. We will continue to uphold our beliefs, to strive for innovations and make big leaps, not only for the visually impaired in Hong Kong, but also to bring benefits to those in other regions.